Very
You were
true.
talking about Chikitsa, right? Chikitsa, we don't address the person disease at all. We
Disease.
don't treat people with
Hmm.
this and this problem. We treat the individual.
Hmm.
Once the individual becomes better,
Hmm.
he slowly comes out of the problem. Very simple, he accepts it and
Hmm.
he himself finds the ways and means to come out of it.
Hmm.
Because actually, yoga is only to help.
Namaste to all the yoga sadhakas. So today we are completing 1 year since we started Yogānubhava series at Yoga Vijnana. So where we are talking to many eminent acharyas of our country, senior acharyas, and trying to learn from their experience and see how we can inculcate all of that in our yoga journey itself. So on this Guru Purnime, we are completing 1 year. And as an anniversary guest, so we have Janakiraman ji from Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
So thank you so much for accepting our invitation and to be part of this Yogānubhava series. So before we continue, I just want to introduce him to all of you. Janakiraman V M holds a diploma in yoga from Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, a premium institute of yoga and yogic studies in Chennai. He has over 25 years of experience as a yoga teacher and yoga therapy consultant at KYM. He has been under the tutelage of Shri T.K.V Desikachar and Shri Sridharan sir. Sridharan sir, I think we have already covered him in the earlier edition of Yogānubhava series. In case if you want to watch it, and he also holds a master degree in yoga from TamilNadu Physical Education and Sports University. He has been conferred with the title Yoga Chikitsa Acharya by Indian Yoga Association during November 2023. He was heading the therapy department as a director. On superannuation, he is now a senior therapy consultant and a mentor. So further, he contributes to the KYM Institute of Yogic Studies, which conducts short-term and long-term certification courses in yoga and allied subjects for both Indian and international students as a senior faculty member. So Janaki Raman is also a trained Vedic chanting instructor at KYM and has a wide experience in teaching chantings to individuals and groups. And he has traveled around the world teaching yoga and chantings. Janaki Ramanji has conducted various corporate training to MS Larsen and Turbo, Alec, Alectol, Wipro, and to name a few. And he has given speeches highlighting the importance of yoga for police forces of Tamil Nadu, Air Force officers, and also the income tax officers. So he has represented KYM as a dignitary in framing the protocol for the first International Day of Yoga, which continues till now. He has conducted various yoga workshops across the country, catering to the topics like women and yoga, stress management, combating diabetes, and much more. So it's an elaborate experience that he has. So welcome again, sir. Thank you so much for this accepting
Namaste.
the invitation.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I want to start by asking you, right? You were in government, and then you came to yoga. So how was the journey like? So what motivated you to leave your or after annihilation take completely come to yoga itself?
Uh, Actually, I was working and I went to Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. I had a problem. I had a personal problem. I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to find a solution, and someone referred me to that, to
Mm-hmm.
KYM. I went, and that was the first visit. And it so happened that Sridharan was my teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave me some basic, simple poses. You won't even believe because I was doing all the asanas.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been, as I told you, I've been before coming to KYM. I know about yoga. I have been to different schools. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I had the opportunity to learn from the Moraji Desai University, which was called Vishwayatan Yogashram initially. So
Mm-hmm.
that was when 80s, 85, 86, 87 there. In fact, I attended a course there for 40 days, stayed there, learned,
Mm-hmm.
and I was doing yoga. I was doing all the asanas, but my problem did not go. I had a serious
Mm-hmm.
health condition. So that is why someone referred here. So I went and met Mr. Sridharan. Sridharan was my teacher. He gave me simple arm movement or something. I said, what is the diabetes? I have written, I know all these asanas, and he is giving only simple arm movement. But I did. But in 1 week, I could see a tremendous change. That was the starting, and I am still with him. So I started to get benefit, and I was a chronic asthmatic. So there is nothing wrong in telling it. I was a chronic asthmatic. So the disease was overpowering me. Now the disease is inside my pocket. Very simple.
Fantastic.
It pops up. I don't allow it to come. Which means that I am doing yoga daily. I know if I do it daily, it doesn't pop up. It doesn't show its ugly head. That makes me do it daily.
And so what inspired?
Practice makes you perfect.
Fantastic.
And that is a message. That is a message. You have to hit the mat whether you like it or not.
Wow. Very nice.
So that's how I went there. I was working. So then I found out that there is a diploma. As I was going for my therapy, and that was every once in 10 days or 15 days, I was meeting Sridharan sir. Then I saw a small advertisement in a paper which said there is a course. I enrolled for it. I wrote the examination. I was interviewed. I was selected. Then in 2 years, I cleared the exam. And one day, Desikachar called me. Hey, start taking this class. As I was doing the diploma, he called me and said, because you used to interact with all the students.
Yeah.
So we were in awe to see him, and he used to give the Sunday lectures, 8 o'clock, which we all attend. That is the booth because it's on Yoga Sutra. You will talk something on any topic, on yoga, any of the topic, and we used to attend. So that is how my journey slowly I was pulled towards yoga, and I was into all programs. Then I started teaching. The moment I started teaching, I could see that I was able to bring some change in the person. Then my problem became very little. That is it. Till that time, I was thinking that I was the only person who is having a big problem. The moment I started taking classes, I found out that I am nothing. So it is not the disease. That's why in KYM, Desikachar also used to say, it is not we don't treat the disease. It is a person. The person with the disease. You treat the person, the disease goes off.
Wow.
You're talking about Chikitsa, right? Chikitsa, we don't address the person disease at all. We don't treat people with this and this problem. We treat the individual. Once the individual becomes better, he slowly comes out of the problem. Very simple, he accepts it. And he himself finds the ways and means to come out of it. Because actually, yoga is only to help.
Correct.
Swatantrata, right? He has to become independent. He should not be dependent, even on the teacher.
Very true. Very true. 100%. Yeah. So a lot of messages there.
Yeah, we don't. So that is the reason we don't give classes daily. We see a person, ask him to do. We draw a course because you know about Desikachar's way of working. He just sketches, very simple way of drawing sketches and giving. That's what we follow in KYM. We draw and give it to him and explain, and it is on one-on-one. That's the specialty of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, where we teach on a one-on-one basis. So we ask him to do, he comes back and he gives the message, gives the feedback. Based on his feedback, we give the class. That's how I was healed. And to my astonishment, I started being helpful to others. That's how I became very much attracted to yoga. Oh, even I can be of some help to someone.
Very nice.
Till that
Very
time, I was
nice.
thinking that I was the only person who is having a big problem. That's how that this
Understand.
outlook changes.
Wow. There's a lot of messages you gave there actually. So because the simple thing is when we talk about therapy, right? Many people think they should do some complicated things. But I keep telling sometimes advanced asanas, whatever we say, right? For health, it is not even required. You just need to do
Definitely,
simple
definitely.
practices, and that is more effective for health. And if that can take care of therapy, then definitely for health also that the simple practices are enough. So, and unfortunately nowadays most of the people are behind yoga as an exercise form. They just go behind complicated practices.
Exactly, exactly.
So
So,
losing the whole. Yeah.
though it popularizes yoga, but it is not
Mm.
the actual message for what yoga is for. Yoga is not just asana alone. I think everybody says that now. That
Yes.
is the truth. Yoga is not just
Very true.
asana. Yoga is that is only eight, right? In Ashtanga
Yeah.
yoga, is only one part of
One
what
part.
yoga
Very
is
true.
all
Very
about.
true. Mm. So after that, you just came to yoga, and then you decided to come
Yes,
to KYM full
I
time.
started. I was coming. I was
Yeah.
taking classes. So this classes made me do my practice. That is it. Only when you do the practice, you will be in a
Hmm.
position to take classes for
Yes.
others. That itself gave the impetus for me. That as a served as a boost. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me do my practice. Let me be clear.
Mm.
Good, so that I can heal someone else.
Very true. Very
So
true.
it
Mm.
started. I was coming, I was going to office, coming in the evening, taking classes. Then one
Mm-hmm.
fine day, Desikachar asked me, "Hey, Janakiraman, you are keeping one leg here and one leg there. When are you going to take the other leg?" So I was just completely shocked. And I said to myself, okay, it's a message. And by the time
Mm.
I had completed this 20 years of service where you can take this VRS,
Uh-huh. Yes.
because I
Mm.
have a family also that has to be taken care, right?
Very true.
I
Very
said,
true.
okay,
Mm.
I was eligible for pension. Then when I found out that I am eligible for that, and more important, your wife has to agree, right? She agreed because since she saw
Yes.
the change,
Yes.
my health has become better.
Mm.
Then it's okay. She said, okay, if you're interested, go on.
Yeah.
Then I took this major shift. Yeah, got into full-time teacher. And I learned all the nuance. Exactly. That is how when your learning becomes more, right? When you into
Very
your
true.
full time.
Very true. Very
I
true.
was
Mhm.
fortunate to be trained by Desikachar and Sridharan ji. And yes,
So,
I'm
so
working
you
here
came
there.
to yoga and then you focused mostly on yoga therapy. So I wanted to ask you some messages for the new therapists that we have, because a lot of people want to get into therapy nowadays. At least nowadays,
Okay.
I see that every teacher wants to become a therapist. And I don't know what they think about therapy, but they want to become a therapist. So if I want to ask you some messages that you can pass it on to the future or the aspiring yoga therapist, so what can that messages be? What can you say to them?
See, therapy is not something what you know, what you have learned and teach. That's what
Mm.
Krishnamacharya always says. Krishnamacharya never say, never teach what you know, teach what they need.
Very true.
As a
Yeah, very
therapist,
true.
you have to find out what is the thing that they need.
Hmm.
They may come with different, they may because they're anxious, they want to get
Hmm.
rid of. So
Hmm.
they would have heard this asana
Hmm.
will cure them. But that is not the way. It is not
That
asana
is not
alone.
true. Very true.
Asana is
Yeah.
only part of it. What is needed for him? That is why we have a Nadi Pariksha. We need we do the physical examination. So it's a
Hmm.
consultation. It's a big process. We spend at least 1 hour for that.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
based on the need we give. So as a
Hmm.
therapist, you have to equip yourself with more knowledge before
Hmm.
venturing into that field. So
Hmm.
you have to practice. You have to practice. You first, you have to practice. You have to
Mm-hmm.
learn all the text.
Mm-hmm.
Then slowly, under the guidance of your teacher, you
Hmm.
can become a better therapist. Rather than jumping into the forum, it's not that just because you are doing all the asanas and you are have this
Hmm.
much experience
Hmm.
as said yoga teacher, you can
Hmm.
not jump into. It's not like getting a degree. It's not
Yeah,
definitely a
very true.
degree.
Very true. Hmm.
Therapy is only comes only with experience.
Hmm.
Okay,
Very true.
nowadays
Very true.
it demands, so they give you a certificate. You are a therapist. That does not in any way make you a therapist unless you experience and teach.
Very true. Very well said, actually, because nowadays people are just
Yes,
going
yes.
behind certifications and degrees and all that.
Certification, and we are also in the board where we see people, isn't it, Vinay? So
Very
it's
true. Yes.
they ask
Very true.
immediately
Very true.
they want to be a therapist. It's
Yeah.
not that
Very
easy.
true.
You have to have that experience. That
Very
means
true.
that
Very
you
well said.
have to practice. You have to be in that all the time.
Very true. And I think I want to ask you something from the therapist perspective, right? Because a lot of times when we go and do yoga therapy, there we are basically talking to a people who are down in their life with a lot of issues and all that. So sometimes there is some negativity that kind of influences a therapist also, in some cases. So how do
Mhm.
we shield ourselves with those kind of when we go and talk to people or when we interact with the care seekers? So how do we put a protective shield around us?
The protective shield is only your practice.
Fantastic. I thought that's what I thought you'd say that because
The
protective shield
protective
is only
shield is
a
your
practice.
practice
Yes,
and your sadhaka, sadhana, whatever
very
you are.
true.
Your spiritual
Yes,
practice, if you have anything, you
yeah.
have to do that.
Because that's exactly what I was thinking
Your
that you will
spiritual
say when I asked
practice.
this question.
Yes, that is the
Well said.
sadhana.
Because I
That's the sadhana. Not only your yoga sadhana, you're also your spiritual sadhana.
very
Because
true.
spiritual sadhana is also part of yoga.
Very true. Very true. That itself is
See,
actually
when you
yoga.
pray, so
Yoga means spiritual
it is
sadhana.
dhyana. See, dhyana, what is dhyana? Is nothing but you are focusing on someone, something, which means it comes under dhyan.
Very true. Very true.
So your
Very
spiritual
well said.
practice plays a great role in healing others. Otherwise, as you rightly said, you will get the negative. You may
Hmm.
become work down. That is why you are supposed to practice, isn't it? 3 times a
Hmm.
day.
Very true.
Isn't it? And in fact, Hatha Yoga
Very true.
Pratipika says 5 times a day you have to ask to practice pranayama.
Yes.
It is 3 times a day you do the pranayama.
Hmm. Hmm.
Pranayamat
This
param
is
tapa. So you
hmm.
practice the pranayama so that
Very true.
nothing hurts you. You won't feel. It's just like a doctor treating all the patients because he is very clear in what he is doing.
Very true. Yeah.
Only when that doubt comes, you are in trouble.
I think this is perfect message because I keep telling all the people, teachers who come to me to learn therapy, and also those who are want teachers who want to come and do yoga. I just tell them you teach or not secondary, but first practice
Yes,
because
yes.
only if you are
No, it has
practicing you
no,
can be
it
good
has
at
become
anything.
a norm nowadays.
Yeah,
People in their enthusiasm, they
yeah,
try to skip their classes, which they should not.
yeah.
Because the timing they may be forced to
Hmm.
take classes when they are supposed to practice.
Yes,
So they have to
I
make a
totally agree with you.
clear cut demarcation that should not in any way intrude their practice. So practice,
Yeah,
that is why you are called an
yeah.
acharya.
Very true, very true. See,
Acharya is
that's
one who practices
yeah.
and then
Then
preaches.
teachers. So because I just want to add on to this, when I started teaching, my teacher gave me this message to me. He said, "You teach, you do whatever you want, but never be selfish about your self practice." He said. So
Exactly.
that's the message he gave me. So he
Yes.
said, and since then I've been whenever it comes to my practice time, anybody calls me to take classes during that time, I'll never take it. So
Yes.
because
That is
that's
it.
my
So
practice time,
that
I can't sacrifice
discipline
that.
will come only when you are steadfast.
Yeah,
That
Very well
vairagyam
said,
has
sir.
to be there,
Very true. Very true.
isn't it?
All right.
Abhyasa
So that
vairagyabhyam tannirodha. In this regard, it is your practice. Your personal practice should not be diluted at any cost.
very well said. Very well said. And that's the one which gives us the strength to become a good yoga
Yes,
therapist.
yes, yes.
So because without diluting that only we can become a good therapist. Very well said. I think there were a lot of very great messages that you have given to all of our audience today, particularly those who want to get into this the path of therapy, right? Keep it simple. That's one beautiful message that you gave.
Yes.
And practice, and that's what gives you the shield to treat people. And great messages, regularity in your practice, lot of messages. And I hope our audience will learn from all these messages. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming and sharing these messages with all of us today. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. It's Guru Kripa
Thank you.
that you call
It's
me.
our Krupa
It's
to
all,
listen to you,
yeah, it's all Guru
and
Kripa. I owe it to my teacher.
that too on a yoga on a Guru Purnime
Guru
day
Purnima
where
day to have
so
remembered me. It's just nothing
so
but the grace of him.
yeah. No, I on a Guru Purnima, I want to talk to somebody with the lineage because you are from a oldest lineage in the field of yoga, Krishnamacharya tradition. So
Fine.
he's the one who everything is offshoots of that lineage today.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
when I just thought, let
So
me talk to
even if I
somebody from
am
the
of little use to the society, I
yeah,
owe it to my
very
teacher.
definite. Thank you, sir. Thanks a
Thank you,
lot for wonderful.
Vinayji.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Vinayji.
you.
Just this is the message. Keep practicing.
Very true. Thank you. Thanks you. With that message, keep practicing. Whether you are a therapist or whether you're a teacher, never leave your practice.
Yes, sir.
And that's the shield for you. So with that profound message, we are concluding the session today. So thank you for all those who have watched the session. So please share this message to as many people as possible and spread this valuable teachings of Janakiraman Ji with many people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.